So last time, you guys finally made it to the Neverlight Grove. You encountered some much older spore people. And actually got a couple of quests out of it.
And a schism.
You heard about a shambling mound somewhere to the south in the South Terraces. You heard about a Grick Alpha up to the north. You heard about something of a sickness, but nothing really clear. You met a very paranoid Myconid up down in the south, kind of up in the south. Who mentioned that they want to get Basidia out of the Neverlight Grove, and they found a path out, but that the Shambling Mound is in the way.
Also, that the Shambling Mound is eating them. So
Always a reason to get rid of it.
I think that's why. I think that's also one of the reasons why we chose Shambling Mound first, because well, the other one is just the other one they just want it dead. This one is actually eating them.
And why are we taking on this quest?
To be nice, to basically to effectively, we help them, they help us.
And how are they going to help us again?
Well, they're going to introduce us to the actual masters of the Grove, so to speak.
Right. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
One of which is crazy, and wants to, if memory serves, wants to split up all the communities.
Yeah, the circles: builders, growers, inner circle, spores, explorers.
And they're basically they're trying to make it okay. This one like the circle of the masters or whatever off to the side, and fun stuff. So basically, we have mushroom people and we have crazy mushroom people.
Let's fuck them up.
And they're
Rasharu was the last one.
And they like the Bukkake spore.
Lube them up.
Oh, yeah, the bigger they are, the more they spore. And some of them spore at will. They spore at will.
Actually, Loobamub, Loobamub,
Lube will always be lube them up to me.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. They always lube them up.
Slooby-loop.
I think Chris Perkins was on the mushrooms when he wrote this. Or is it? I don't even know if he wrote.
I'm sure he was involved.
So my token is still on the corridor.
Yeah, nobody's tokens are on the Neverlight Grove.
Yeah, good enough for our tokens there yet.
And Stool is at home here, isn't
he? Well,
this is his home-ish.
Stool has seemed very calm and happy being here, but a little bit confused.
Okay, what you did on the map here, on the Neverlight Grove map, with the boxes and the pins,
is and awesome. The stuff and the fish.
You have to tell me how to do this at some point, because I'm trying to do that in my game and I'm forgetting how to. So thank you.
And then the sovereign leaders are Philo, which is the one we ran into. No,
you have not seen either of the sovereigns.
Right. Yeah. Basidia is the one that they trust more than Philo.
Philo is the one that has created the new way, and Basidia is the one who everyone seems to feel is concerned over this change in Philo.
We totally know such good things happened the last time we killed a different priestess.
What?
But hey.
What? We just released a demigod.
Well, it didn't really release him. We just pissed him off.
And everybody want to go back and look at him some more.
And he destroyed everything within the city. I mean,
He's
it
not exactly
happened.
the most even tempered.
You know what I have to say about that? That.
Snuggle Snuggle. Shut up, Snuggle.
Continue.
Oh, Zarin, you were such a pal.
That's gonna be a new character in TOA.
Snuggle Slut?
No, the name I just put in.
Oh.
Nickname Snuggle Slut.
I want to.
For a moment, I misread that as Mike Oxballs. I'm about to say, well, he's hung. Or so he wants to feel.
I prefer Michael.
I prefer Richard, thank you.
Anyway.
Yes.
Murdering things. Morale.
And we had some decent nature rolls about the Shambling Mountain, and found out it's not as vulnerable as you would think for a giant plant creature.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. You discovered that it's completely immune to lightning. It'll actually heal from lightning damage.
Cold and fire resistant.
Resistant to cold and fire, and resistant to non-magical weapon attacks.
Oh, I didn't catch that last time.
Oh wait, no, that was the Grick.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's like just like bludgeoning weapons or something. I don't remember.
The Grick is resistant to non-magical weapons.
So you can't just punch him in the throat.
I don't know. If you're a monk, you probably can. If you're high enough level.
The problem is you'd have to get close to the Grick for that, which is never a smart thing. Thank goodness we have no melee characters in this group.
Well, I can be one.
I know. Afterwards, we won't have any melee characters.
Why a great confidence.
Well, considering how the dice rolls in some of our fights go, I mean, it's not an impossibility. Alrighty. So we can't burn it down. We got to blow it up on the shambling bush.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Are any of us truly ready?
I got my trimmers.
We're going to destroy the bush.
We're gonna go Brazilian on it.
Hey, whatever works.
Wax.
What the fuck?
Don't worry about it.
Brazilian wax on it.
Yeah.
Wax off.
Yes, Brad.
Nothing, just making sure that's what we're talking about.
I mean, who knows?
Mike Oxball, wax off.
Wax on, whack off.
I think you got the order wrong. Bilbo. That's Bilbo.
Just waiting.
If they want to market them towards kids, they just call them wands instead.
They're called personal massagers. I mean, have you actually seen the pictures in the catalogs and stores? It's like grabbing over the neck, the back of the shoulder blades. Like, nah, it's not what that's going to use.
Yeah, that shit. Sure.
So since you managed to find Reshiru and convince him that you're on its side, at least as far as you're aware, the Shambling Mound actually isn't too hard to find thanks to its help.
That's right, because Rashu wasn't too trusting of us to start with.
And the fact that we weren't too trusting of it actually got its attention.
Right. Yeah, appreciated that.
We found the Shambling Mound. Oh, I mean, it's not a Shambling Mound. It's a lesser Shoggoth. Oh, okay, no problem. Set in Prescott. They know that he knows the language.
What am I knowing?
You know the language of the spores. Since you've been one with one for so long.
I was gonna say it's not a Shambling Mound after all. It's a lesser Shoggoth. I mean, one elder thing is as good as another.
So you follow Rashiru's directions further in, kind of back towards where there's that little tail in the path.
Oh, by the way, since effectively we're not gonna be that far from it, I'm gonna already have basically effectively have my turrets already out. That's possible.
I mean, if you
walking
want to
beside
attach
me.
them to yourself.
Well,
I can imagine you having one turret on each of your shoulders or something.
later on, I could do that.
Well, it's lower than you are.
So wait till we get closer.
And it's out for 10 minutes.
Yeah. At which point I could always pop out another one. I believe, if memory serves. It's been a while.
You get one
Pardon
per
me,
day
damn it.
for free.
Oh, that's right.
And then it
Don't
takes
you-
spells past that.
Well, you mentioned it wasn't that far. That's why I figured, okay, have it ready to go. Okay.
I can say when you, because he's kind of pointed out a specific area. I'd say I'd allow when you guys get closer. Sure.
All right, that works.
So it's not with you the entire time, slowing everybody down and using all of your spells.
Alrighty.
Don't you get a mechanical servant?
That is if I chose
One day.
Battlesmith.
Oh, that's right.
I chose Artillerist.
That is cool.
So this is about as far as you can see, given the dark vision of some of your party.
And this is
Jeez.
pretty much immediately after our last encounter. We came straight here.
Um, I think there was a long rest involved.
Okay.
Suddenly the rock illuminates.
That's the bright light that I'm shedding. And then dim light about out to here, I guess. I can't see the middle, but
I can see the light.
yeah. It's my giant flashlight.
I'm not gonna say it.
I mean,
I
yeah.
mean, I misheard things again.
Yeah, me too. So, don't worry about it.
Okay, so at least I wasn't the only one that time. To be fair, at least to be fair, it's not. At least it's not my normal hearing malfunctioning, where it's basically all the sound just gets garbled.
Oof.
Well, I've learned to live with it. That's pretty much why you sometimes oftentimes hear me say, "What? What do you say?" It's not the volume; it's the fact that you can. It's how it sounded.
I know a few people in the U.S. who have tinnitus because playing with guns is a great idea.
Oh, mine is not. It's not tinnitus. It's just I have tinnitus. It's a simple fact. Like I
Yeah.
said, it's there's actually a fuck up, and basically it at times the
Yeah.
sound is garbled.
Which turret were you after?
I was gonna bring up the force turret. Seeing as how this thing isn't exactly fire um vulnerable, I figured that the flamethrower probably wasn't going to be a huge help with that one.
Definitely not red. You should be able to move it from there.
Okay, well, or at least
It's because I have the tokens locked.
yeah, I know. Let's basically put it. There you go. That's pretty much what it'll be. Fairly close to me, but more or less everybody else is those spaces. So, so when do we see the bush?
You've gotten this far and you've seen traces of its passage, but you haven't found it yet.
Touche is looking at glowing mushrooms.
Wow.
Feel free to put yourself kind of close to that entrance, wherever you'd like to be.
What?
Hmm? Don't worry,
My-
be happy.
My roll.
That and
Oof.
there we go.
I'd say no further out than that.
Well, kind of figured because they can't go any further than that generally.
Did
Come
you try and?
on, let's go.
Oh, I probably should have thrown my perception.
Well, what the hell? Mine can't be too much worse than theirs.
True.
Crap. Sorry about that.
I mean, at least I got you covered.
Nice. Woo!
Somebody's paying attention.
What? Huh?
All right, so everybody's moving up.
Ooh.
As you can probably guess, I pretty much stay towards the back, but then again, I'm a ranged character anyway, so. Wow, I just had a flashback to PUBG, Brad.
Good old PUBG.
Yes, me holding the car, me aiming, you suddenly pop up from the window and I blast you in the back of the head.
Oh
Good
yeah,
times.
now I remember that.
Yes, I have the ranged weapon. You're standing in front of me.
So we have Touche and Prescott really don't notice much. You're a little bit distracted by all the different colors of mushrooms in this place.
So pretty.
Ashok, you'd notice that the trail kind of seems to lead towards that south area. Um, Tungdil and Fulwar would definitely notice that it's towards the south. And you have a feeling that it hasn't been that long since it went that way. So it's probably not far.
Are
South or southeast? As in by the orange glowy thing or down towards the purple thing?
I would assume direct south.
Down towards where my arrow is.
I
that's
see
not-
3
totally not where
arrows
I was
on
looking.
the screen.
sorry, I was gonna ask a question. My arrows are yellow. Jade's are green.
Okay. About to say, towards the arrow, well,
Well, I just wanted to know, these look like that they are illuminated, but are they all have their own bioluminescence kind of thing going on?
Pretty much all of the mushrooms that look like they're glowing on this map are giving off dim light. So it's not super bright, but considering the rest is pitch black, it's very bright.
So it's off to the east then.
When I was talking about north and south, it's around that the two tunnels that you can see further on.
I can no longer move myself. Oh, stealth check. Oh, that's off screen now. No.
Clank, clank, clank.
Yeah, I got pretty shit too.
What the fuck? It's really bad when your warlock rolls an 8 and that's one of the better rolls. I don't have any pluses to this. It's just a straight 8.
I have great perception. I have shitty stealth. Actually, wait. 1 second.
No seconds.
Technically, I have. Is this considered rocky terrain, rocky ground?
Yes, you can re-roll.
Okay, but I say I do have advantage on that one at least. But
Yeah, just roll normally again, and we'll take the higher. It's kind of
if I
hard
roll,
to not.
if I roll another one though,
Well, that would be advantage. Okay, that's much better.
clank. Oh yeah, that's right. Sneak, 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 sneak.
As we're walking by, I'm interested in investigating some of these mushrooms.
As am I. Prescott has his notebook out and he's making notes and
Quote unquote medicinal properties.
and I still have Stool with me, so I ask him before too many people get too far away to use his spore effect on us.
Too late. I'm already far away.
Well,
No, I want some spore.
Come and get it.
Get and come it. What?
Get my spore fix.
I mean,
Great! The fucking drunk Fargus is gonna have to know this. Not drunk, the crazy one.
to be
We're all
fair,
crazy.
you did try and move there.
Let's see how far I'm away from it. Okay.
So. No. So it's a 10-foot radius. So even if he moved there, it would work.
Okay. Blip. Spoil me, daddy.
So we have
Here's my.
a small number of you that have been affected by the spores. I was about to say the s'mores.
The s'mores.
Office.
So I guess I was outside the range of. No.
You're in the range. Tungdil is the only one that wasn't of the players.
Well, and so the reason why is because I wanted to communicate with Stool, and since he's got limited on this per day, I figured try to get some use out of it. But I ask him, and I'm taking notes, if there's anything with these mushrooms or this area that we should be wary of.
Stool pauses and seems to kind of spin and take in the area just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
His little mini radar.
Since apparently he has dark vision and not blind sight.
Okay.
And I've got to remember which ones of these it is. Let's see. It mentions the red mushrooms to the south could be a little bit poisonous.
Could be a little poisonous.
Just a bit.
The kind of yellowish mushrooms, not the ones you're standing on, but the bigger clump of them,
To the north, yep.
are probably very flammable.
Can we lay a trap with mushrooms and then set it on fire?
Can we pick those up?
And that's about the only ones he warns you against. The others he just seems to think are relatively harmless.
Or they don't necessarily provide benefit, or just these are the ones that are not harming us.
That they're edible, but they don't do much more than that.
So at least our food's taken care of.
He mentions not to touch the ones to the south, the reddish ones. There's no way to pick them without them hurting you.
You mean the ones that my turret is currently sitting amongst?
It's getting awful close, but it hasn't touched them yet.
And, well, I mean, it's a mechanical, so probably fine.
And Stool mentions that the there's sometimes groups of wandering people, Durgar or Drow or whatever, that it's seen harvesting the yellowish flammable mushrooms.
I want to harvest those too.
Same. Make notes on how I want to harvest.
Stool does mention that you should be very careful trying to pick them, and that they make good torches, but sometimes they explode.
I want to pick more.
Yeah.
let's lob something. Let's lob something in the middle of it and see what happens.
I'd rather take them and lob them in the middle of somebody and see what happens.
I can cast Flaming Sphere. We can lob them in the middle of the Flaming Sphere. That would be glorious.
We're like throwing giant mushroom firecrackers.
It would be like a fireball.
It'd be like a mushroom cloud.
Hey, cheap fireball there.
Flaming bag of mushrooms.
These mushrooms are... It's a very large cluster of 1 to 2 foot tall mushrooms.
So what do you want me to roll us to roll
Basically,
for
we wouldn't be lobbing those. We'd be using things over to lure into it.
that? Nature or
Brew 'em
something?
and make Molotov cocktails with them.
Hey, get a bunch of them after the Shelling Mountain's taken care of and use them on the Grick.
If you're wanting to harvest them, it may take some time.
That's why
We
I
should
think
do it
basically
this
after
weekend.
the after we take care of the Shambling Mound.
But it would be a survival check.
Would they be helpful against the shambling mounds?
You are aware that the Shambling Mound is resistant to fire.
Did you just turn into a reef shark?
Huh?
Yeah, I hit that by accident.
Suddenly there's a shark on the cave floor flopping around.
It's dying.
Do-do-do-do.
Someone
I
use
have
your
to
water
cast
spell.
I have to cast create water to save his life.
You
Well-
kill, you, and then you kill them anyways because it's fresh water instead
I
of
was
salt
gonna
water.
say.
Damn.
Uncle
Pull out
Pat
the
with
jug,
salt.
make salt water. Oh, that we don't have the jug.
Or yeah, we'll create fresh water and then pee in it. Okay, you got salt water.
Jade'll make us roll for pee-pee.
As you know, dwarven urine is a perfect panacea.
All right,
So you guys
let's go find a shambling mound.
are, there's a couple of you that are very much not sneaky in the group this time around, but overall, all of the NPCs rolled higher than you guys. Just in general.
I am very curious how Stool did.
Well, considering that you're carrying Stool, it's easy for him to be sneaky. Unless every time you move it, it squeaks like a bicycle horn.
That would be funny. Great.
Prescott.
Okay,
Stool is just as sneaky as Prescott is.
That's not saying much.
Mhm.
They both rolled the same thing. I'd say, yeah, as a group, you guys did well enough to, you don't seem to have attracted more attention.
Well, at least there's that.
We have alerted the salad bar. Sneeze shields up.
Wrong shield.
Such a tight ass
Um,
shit diamonds.
Okay, so everyone continues forward a little bit. Kinda going to the south-ish. Around this blob.
Going sneaky, 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 sneaky.
Relatively.
Tactical blob always wins.
Okay.
I don't want to melee you. All I want is bang, bang, bang.
Is there anything that you're trying to do besides continue on?
Yeah. I'm looking for the shambling mound.
Prescott is going to cast magic missile with the darkness again.
Trying to fight away the darkness with magic missile.
So no, those Eldritch Blast the darkness. And the darkness said ouch.
If I cast anything at something, an inanimate object, and it says ouch, I have a lot more questions.
It's a good way to find mimics.
Do mimics say ouch?
It might move.
So,
In one adventure I was in, there was a mimic toilet.
damn, that's shitty.
Yeah,
What's his name? John.
Crappa.
yeah,
Sean?
what am I doing on bird side?
Yes, the DM left. The players left. The toilet laughed. It was a good night.
Everyone
What?
starts engaging the toilet.
It killed 2 of our members.
I could say something else, but you already said it for me in a way.
Angry shitter.
Yeah, right.
Nope. You lost. Basically, the players lost 2 of their members.
Really? 2 twos?
2 of their members, haha. Oh, I guess I should roll.
2 twos. God
Well,
damn it,
that's
Fantasy
better.
Grounds random number gen. You're full of shit.
I see nothing.
Nope. Nope. The mimic.
You are so
Dice
full
are
of shit.
weighted.
I mean, if that happened every now and then, I wouldn't be as like, oh, okay. But I mean, it seems like it wants to F with you often enough.
You obviously haven't seen RNG in Final Fantasy 14, especially late game.
True.
I'd say Tungdal and Ashok don't see or hear anything amiss.
I'm blind.
Surprisingly, Touche,
deaf.
you hear some sort of shuffling noise coming from further in.
Barf. Excuse me.
And
That
it
wasn't a
seems
shuffling noise.
it seems to grow a little bit closer.
So I'm gonna say in my mind out to whoever has the spores that I hear something shuffling. I think something's coming.
Every
Take the-
day
Damn
shuffling.
it! Take their cards away.
Every day shuffling.
So,
Shuffling. Deal the cards.
Tungdal wouldn't hear it.
Oh, I'm deaf blind.
Tashe will tap him on the shoulder and point ahead, and then point to her ears. Like something's coming. I hear something.
Yeah, what you on about? You're off my beardies.
Yes,
Very
while
funny.
while Thor is advancing, but staying behind, staying towards the back. And Prescott's over there sniffing his rear.
Yeah, he's busy over there sniffing the mushrooms.
He's sparring.
Hey man, that's some good quality spore we got here.
Actually, technically, Prescott could smell his own ass. I don't think I want to have that mental picture again.
No.
Can I help you, Miss Edison?
I was just letting you know that I hear something coming toward us.
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh, wrong coming.
It's shambling.
It's only breathing hard. all right, you two. Where's number 3?
Oh, he'll be here soon. Don't worry.
He's probably also misbehaving somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen your bathroom lately?
Ugh. Please don't remind me. I haven't had hot water in a month.
Oof. Who done fucked up your boiler?
Pipes are actually the hot water here is just fine. It's the pipe work behind the wall.
Oh, lovely. What did it? They use some piss poor dollar store copper or something?
It's split in a couple places.
Oof. So probably poor insulation then.
This house has no insulation.
Oh, that would do it.
It doesn't have a foundation either. It's that old.
Jesus.
And
You need a new
unfortunately,
place.
as you mentioned before, I have 2 roommates. Well, one
You
of them
all
has
need a
moved.
new place.
One of them has moved over to the other half of the house, and left all this. Rumors left all their stuff here. So we've been trying to get the house cleaned up, including all the clothes in the laundry room, which have been piling up there for over a year now.
Lovely.
They've held enough
Such great
moisture that
roommates.
the floorboards have rotted away.
Oh, for the love of God.
So we have to replace the floorboards, replace the piping, and everything else back there.
Yeah, at this point, I would say, just demolish the house and move on somewhere else.
Oh, remember, I have a house I want to move into that needs to be finished.
Finish it faster.
Oh shit! Oh shit! I mean, it's got its own leaking issues and whatnot, but at least it's one we can actually fix.
Eh, yeah, you could just sell it off, be like, it has classic charm.
Tasha's gonna turn to Ashok and say, I see it.
What?
I
You
see the
broke up.
shambling mound. I see the shambling mound.
Yes, we are part of Crazy Dick's bush
Point
trimming
to it.
service.
It's at the end. It's right at the end of the green arrow.
Well then, clearly we're going to fight over this.
I mean, Tungdil, you don't hear that.
No, I meant me and Ashok's movement. We both decided at the same time to move to the same tile.
Yes, I think Dwarf wins over Reef Shark. If anything, due to mass.
No, I'm still Druid.
I'm moving down here.
I ask you, is that where you saw it? I thought we were going straight across.
It's right behind this mass of mushrooms.
Is this massive mushrooms one of those dangerous ones? I see the little red glowing.
Probably not. A section of it might be, but yeah. Let's avoid it anyway. So rules are not with me tonight.
Damn it, I was gonna make an attack.
I gotta stop pushing that button. Just roll my own button. So is there gonna be an icon for it, or
Did it see me when I saw it? If it didn't, can I cast Bless?
It doesn't seem to have noticed you guys yet. You can cast Bless.
Does it have a token? Oh, there we go. I have to adjust my movement slightly.
Okay, so she's gonna cast Bless on.
Damn that ugly.
I have a question.
I might have
Is
an
that
entry.
little is that little round thing near its foot an obstruction or just a piece of terrain? Right, basically right
To the
there.
left.
That's just terrain.
Okay, I need to clear off that. I need to clear off that arrow. So I'm not having the ballista boomerang itself in the face.
We probably should have waited till you guys came up a little bit more before turning the corner, but hey. You can always go for a slight tactical retreat and have
Okay.
him follow us. That might actually be a better idea.
And we're still able to do a last minute move? Or
Yeah.
okay. Well, not quite where I wanted, but that works. There.
And of course it would be Prescott up first.
Yay.
Edison's. Do you want to sniff my pants again?
Did the third one finally show up?
No, he's still somewhere
Causing mischief.
or sleeping.
That too. Very likely.
And of course that's straight through rock.
Brad, are you alive?
No.
Of course not. Did he finally go to something his cooking commitments?
No. It sounds like he decided he needed a shower.
Okay, good job, Brad.
That's
So-
so weird.
The what?
I don't question.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, huh?
You need a shower in the middle of the... Huh?
I thought we'd be doing barely nothing, even though we were right next to the damn thing. Come on, Brad. Get your
Brad,
shit
stop
together.
masturbating under the faucet.
Well, he tried something. It failed. I'm sorry, but a 10 does not hit a shambling mound. It does, though, alert that something's attacking.
Scree.
And... well, that's just within range.
Oh yeah, that thing's immune to slashing, isn't it? Or at least resistant.
It hasn't been hit.
No, it's resistant to cold fire, immune to
Yeah, you're
lightning.
thinking the Grick.
Slashing
What you're
instead.
seeing that just popped up was Topsy.
Okay, he's using some mysterious stuff for things.
Everyone is aware that they're were-rats now.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, they changed?
Topsy and Turvy are the ones that are were-rats. You guys discovered
That's
this
right,
a while
yeah.
back.
Yep. Talking about the were-rat.
And very clearly, nobody can hit.
Oh, don't put your ears back like that.
Yes.
You
That
know
brings
you
us
like
to
this.
Ashok, with no damage having been done.
Okay, I'm going to run up
Yeah.
to this Chamberlain Mountain and get in his face.
Okay, good luck with that. See you soon.
Have fun storming the castle.
Oh.
Hi, kitty kitty.
She's getting tummy rubs. She's protesting.
How dare thee protest?
They're like, I love it, I hate it, I love it, I hate it.
Yep, go on your brother. Speaking of which, how are Snowball and Fireball doing?
Oh, same as always.
Making trouble?
Oh, 25 hits.
Yes.
Pink. Uh-oh.
How come it doesn't say hit? Is that like a
That's-
different thing?
That's an option that I
Mention-
turned off because you guys had a bard in the party.
Ah,
Had a bard in the party.
Because bardic inspiration is supposed to be done without you knowing whether it hit or not.
okay, that's good to know. In the Eberron game that I'm going to be DMing, there is a bard.
They have to sing
And-
every time. It's a law.
Ashok did some damage.
And then I'm going to, with my bonus action, use Blessing of the Raven Queen and teleport back.
Meow.
Which, as a teleport thing, he doesn't get attack of opportunity.
Mhm.
And I also gained resistance to everything on that, and that ends my turn.
Resistant until the start of your next turn.
Right.
Everyone notices that not only did Ashok teleport back, he's now kind of like, he looks like he's a ghost.
Oh,
No, he's
lovely.
dead already. God damn it.
Just
Tasha is
started.
gonna look at him and one eyebrow is gonna go up. Mhm.
And I just wink back at you.
I'm going to kill you.
Well,
That's how half-breeds are made.
Wow! 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 Love in the Underdark.
newest comedy now on Fantasy Grounds channel.
And the
So I run up, I
abomination
smash him in the
that is
eyeball
born.
with my quarterstaff, teleport back, get the stink eye from Tashay and just wink.
Stink eye from the brown eye.
That's a gray eye.
Did you just say that's gray eye?
Yeah, gray eyes.
Not pink eye, gray eye.
Right.
No, pink eye's what you get afterwards.
Eye infection.
What did you say? I can't hear you. I have an ear infection.
Well, let me figure it out.
Sarah,
There you go.
Clap, clap, clap.
I'm not a
Again, that happens afterwards.
These things are much bigger than I realized.
I mean, it is a gigantic mass of. Also,
Plant.
welcome back, Brad. How's the shower?
Your first attack missed.
I
Yeah.
heard.
and it has. Okay.
Hmm?
Hmm. It has turned into a lovely little flower. Get the lawnmower.
Oh shit! I just totally forgot what I should have done.
Oh. Next time.
Tired. Should probably go ahead and set my alarm for tomorrow.
Okay, so it's
Good.
it's not knocked unconscious by that.
Okay.
Well,
Most.
you
excellent.
watched as Seraph moved a little bit, summoned his crossbow, and shot the shambling mound. And you watch as like this kind of there's darker lines across where the arrow hit. The shambling mound was poisoned.
I look at the Shay and say, "You look at me funny." Did you see that?
I did.
Still only counts as one.
And that brings us to Thor.
All right. Thor is gonna use his crossbow. It hits.
Nice.
Okay. I was double checking the range.
Yeah, I'm basically about 55 feet from it.
It was more the range of your weapon.
Well, hopefully the crossbow still doesn't range look like crossbow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because I was using different crossbows that have different.
Yeah. Okay. Did that actually roll damage?
That did not roll damage.
Oh, okay. Let's try that again.
Yeah.
Because I went to roll my dice, it just sat there and disappeared. It's like nothing actually popped up. It's like,
How dare it?
all right. And my Force Ballista is going to do the same thing. And misses completely.
How do you move that thing? Just with concentration, or do you pick it up and move it?
It's got legs.
Ah, cool.
Yeah,
I know the first two responses were the first two responses were practical and rational, even in D&D standards. But no, it's got legs. Fuck it.
No, it's basically like crab legs.
It's like a robot cake.
That missed, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I want in that damn thing, all right?
All right. Well, I'm done for the way around. So,
Carries beer too.
blip.
I like anything that carries my beer.
Eld.
I play a beer cleric in another game,
I'm
and
sure you do.
We had this crazy encounter with these grubs, and I don't know. I don't remember
set
the
on fire?
situation, but all I know is I had my drinking horn, and I turned to my comrade and I said, "Hold my beer," and then I attacked.
That's what I need to do for my tabaxi is get a magical drinking implement.
I mean, do you have one?
You already have
Well,
a
yeah.
alchemy jug.
I meant to
Already
pour it into the,
Mm.
the implement I actually drink from instead of just that just makes it.
Drank
You don't
from the
just drink it from the jug.
No, I presume we're all partaking.
not when you first got it.
Next time I'll just do mayonnaise and not tell the party.
Well, you two sat up on the top of cursed stairs and just guzzled the whole jug of beer.
Did it have that?
Yes.
Okay. So I cast my Radiance of the Dawn on the Shambling Man, and he saved, but he still took half damage.
That's nice, man.
Also roasted, and now 3 of your games there are drunk players in it, drunk characters.
In 3 of my games. Oh, well, she does. Her channel divinity is creating a blessed brew of beer.
So you play one of them, and in your other 2 games, I play for
You
2 of
deal
them,
with
and
one.
Silver, and Silver plays the other one.
You have not yet summoned a beer elemental. I'm disappointed.
Oh, we have to make that.
I mean, I have Shape Water, and we have a giant infinite jar of booze.
Not quite the same.
Somebody should wake up early and summon a jar of mayonnaise. And then when he goes trying to pour a beer, just
That is
mayonnaise goes
awesome.
out.
That's what I said I was going to do next time. I'm just going to summon like salt water or mayo and not tell you.
Just use it like the grease spell.
A mayo elemental?
Tongdo, it's your turn.
No, it's a jar
Yeah.
with like 9 different spigots, and depending on the one you open, it depends on the liquid that's going to come out of it.
It's basically like one of the things I can make.
You can make one of those?
Actually, yeah, it is. It is the alchemy jug.
Yeah, that's what they found one in TOA.
With Roasted's character on my shoulders.
And then Tabaxi almost
drunk
died
grass.
getting it.
Sadly enough, another game I played, the DM had one where it had one extra,
Right.
had one extra function.
Ooh, he's raging.
You mad, bro?
No.
His hair stands up even taller.
Yes, too many people are ordering shit. They need to stop.
Let's just say this jug was created in a brothel.
I don't want to drink anything that comes out of that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the 10th item was a special liquid.
Special.
A usually masculine liquid.
Bottle that up and sell it as calcium supplements.
A jar of lube, baby.
Hope
No.
that was the right thing.
Semen.
All natural.
If 14 does not hit.
Whoa.
Oof.
High
Damn.
in protein.
2
Oh,
gallons a day. 2 gallons a
not much
day.
I can do with that.
It's called the bukkake jug.
None of this is surprising me.
That I had a really weird DM for that one.
Were you using one of those books on your shelf?
No section before I had that book. This was back when I was in high school.
Makes way more sense now.
And this is why I homeschool my children.
I didn't say this was at high school. This is basically around that time period.
Wow, Turby's going to town on this guy.
Well, apparently
Ooh.
Turvey's the only one that can hit.
Hey,
Hey,
I
I,
can hit.
I
Ah,
hit.
we all hit.
I
Oh,
thought you said
most-
Roasted's real name. It's like that's a weird call out. And didn't she just end her turn?
Yes, my real name is Turvey.
Yeah.
No, isn't your name Terry?
Yeah, that is my name.
Right. I thought he said Terry.
Turvy.
Yeah. No, I heard Terry.
No, it
Well, that's
did
Brad.
sound like.
Keep saying that she's gonna tear you a new one.
Grab some
Oh.
Q-tips.
Ooh.
hey. So,
Tongue Deal, Crazy Dick's bush trimming service.
Complete with the electric shaver is the Force Ballista.
We can fit it or your money back.
Our special today landing strips. Hey, well, maybe Prescott should save a little cutting of it and give Stool a friend.
Anyway,
Are
Shelving Mound
Are you
is
trying to
above
tell
the
me
river.
that Stool needs to make friends with my penis?
If you want
Whoa.
if you hey, Brad, if you
Oh.
want to call that your cutting, okay.
Hey,
I figured it would hit.
stool is a juvenile. There are laws against this.
This is the Underdark. We were
There are no
enslaved.
laws in the Underdark.
We were slaves, all right?
Oh no, Turvy got hit.
What I'm saying was like maybe Prescott can save a small cutting of it and name it Groot.
I read damage to Turvy, and then right above that I read expired, and I was like, motherfucker, it killed Turvy in one hit?
well,
Yes.
that doesn't quite work the way it's supposed to. Oh, okay. Never mind. That was entirely the way it was supposed to. Okay. Well, I forgot that, the shambling a mound doesn't exactly count as magical attacks.
It kind of goes Tree Hulk Smash.
Mound smash.
Lawn Smash.
So you watch as it slams twice into Turvy.
I thought it was targeting me.
That one was your ancestral guardians trying to protect Turvy, which, I mean, technically he didn't need it, but it did avoid 2 natural 20s.
Jeez.
And
Again, it's broken.
you watch, because the grappling mound hit,
Grappling mound now.
the grappling mound just kind of, like, swallows Turvy.
What?
Hey, this is a no vor channel.
Whoa.
They're gonna have a few friends who
Turvy-
are into it, so hey.
Rat swallowing.
What is now?
Turvy is blinded, restrained, unable to breathe, and must succeed a Constitution saving throw at the start of each of the mound's turns or take damage.
So in other words, we need to keep
Slowly digested.
over the course of about 2 minutes.
But of anyone that could have been engulfed by this thing, Turvey's actually not gonna do too bad.
He looks like it's happened to him a couple times before.
Damn, roasted.
I
Yes,
mean,
Roasted?
if you look at Turvy on the combat tracker, you'll notice he's still healthy.
Yeah, I was waiting for that to change.
So we know that he's resistant against fire, or the Shambling Mounds are resistant against fire, correct?
Yes.
Gastric acid, apparently.
Okay, so you've used. Do we? I don't know if anyone can tell me, but do I know by watching the battle what else he's immune or like what's not working?
In this last round, it's mostly been physical damage and some radiant.
Well, technically mine was magical damage, so.
Well, you've had magical physical and not magical physical, so he's not he's not resistant to damage from non-magical weapons.
Beef.
Does the move that he's doing, is it considered attacking with his weapon?
Yes.
Well, because I specifically and it has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes. Frostbite.
Oh, yeah, it would be considered its weapon attack.
Okay.
The engulf wouldn't be, but the 2 slams beforehand would have been, which he already had disadvantage on.
Cool. Well, I should keep that going for him then. Part of me wants to try Frostbite because one, it's a cantrip, and so it's either that or Eldritch Blast. So did I just roll low, or did it do no damage?
You rolled and missed.
Okay. Well, then I don't know. But if it's strong against fire, Pokemon logic, it's weak against ice?
Nope.
Nope, it's got both of them.
It's resistant against cold and fire and immune to lightning.
Oh, yeah, then never mind. Oh, yeah, then never mind. I'm not doing that. That's fucking dumb. Okay.
I mean, it's Prescott, so it's fine.
We're used to Prescott fucking up.
I'm also not going to do
Everything.
Hellish Rebuke then, too, because that's also fire. Wow.
That's also a reaction.
Fair.
Some damage is better than no damage.
It could do Phantasmal Force. I think I'm just going to do Eldritch Blast and not fail this time.
Is Eldritch
Okay.
Blast lightning damage?
No.
No, it's force damage.
Good.
Good call, though.
Otherwise, that'd be unfortunate considering we just said that it's immune to.
Yeah.
That should automatically
Sorry,
be doubled,
Silver.
right?
Yes.
Huh?
Alrighty then.
Wow, it's still up. That was a nice dose.
That was highest on one and more than average on the other.
Q.
I'll take it. All right. Back to food.
And he is just gonna move up just a little bit and throw another javelin.
I'm gonna wiggle it just a little bit.
Actually, that is an action to do that. No, he's not gonna do that yet. He's just gonna attack. Hey, he actually hit this time.
I was going to cook one of our HelloFresh tonight, but since I forgot and we're in the middle of D&D, these are very easy. these PF Chang things.
Hmm.
Ooh. Ow! That was another critical hit for max damage on both die.
A little shit, Fargus.
It's definitely taken some damage.
I'm gonna go back up in its face.
Well, that one hit.
I'm just looking for any bonus things. I don't think I do. Nope, that's it. See what nastiness Sarah pulls out this time.
Yeah, I think.
That bless is nice to have. Holy shit, 24.
And that brings it back to Thor.
Put it down.
In theory, we'll see if I actually hit this time. All right, crossbow for me and cannon going boom.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you hit just a little bit.
Nah, nice token. That's awesome.
I think it's always been doing that, but it's big enough for us
No.
to see it now.
Tasha's gonna run up here and
Yeah, I want
with
to
her
search
dagger.
that motherfucker.
And scream, apparently.
No, I'm gonna cut him open. I'm trying to help Servy.
No, the noise in the background, you're like, Tasha's gonna, and then we just heard screaming from your end.
Oh, that's because now my other son is involved. They're all like farting around. Because somebody said time to go, because it's time for everyone to go floss and brush their teeth. So my husband says it's time for everyone to go floss, and all three of my children come out and start flossing in the kitchen, like the dance move. They're like, haha, smart.
You little smartasses. Yeah.
I
Never was there a worse plague to infect this world.
So
you
I'm just
watch as you try cutting through it. It's not too hard to cut through.
Is this something I could take a bite of?
It's a plant.
What? I mean, you can eat a lot of things.
Yeah, there would be no wild shape for that.
No, not as a plant.
That would be cool to turn into a wild shambling mound.
You work for a little bit. It's not too difficult to free Turvy. You notice that Turvy seems completely unharmed from everything that happened. A little bit disoriented, being engulfed by a shambling mound, but no damage was done to him.
Excuse me?
I'd say to Turvy, how the hell did you survive that?
Yeah, I'm making notes in my journal going, trust me, as somebody who's gone through overnight changes, what the hell?
I know, but what you went through was natural.
If
like
you start,
You saying, you think this is natural?
It's like
If you
having.
s-
Go ahead.
if you start masturbating in front of us, this party's over.
Like I said, I was about to say, it's like having your first erection. Perfectly natural. Just don't show it.
I'm not making notes about this. I'm leaving.
No, not making notes. He's drawing it.
All right.
He's got a virtual
um,
treasure trove of
Topsy's
dick
the-
drawings.
Topsy's the female, Turvy's the male. Had to remind myself.
Wait, we're talking to a girl?
I'm gonna take of the mound just
Oh,
to
okay, cool.
show the others that are the oh, I can't remember their names, that we have dispatched him.
Because
So let's go back and do that.
if we were talking to the girl, though, it would be even more weird for someone to say, it's natural that your penis is hard to the woman. So,
Hey,
just
no,
wanted to
no
make sure.
judgment, no judgment here.
No judgment, but generally speaking, I'm pretty sure Roasted doesn't have a penis. For example.
Flute it.
I mean, we live in good times.
Reasonably accurate, you know.
It's in the top drawer. It's in the top drawer.
I didn't ask about her massagers.
It takes a few moments. Turvy doesn't say anything, but Topsy eventually speaks up and says, we don't take too much damage from things like that. It tried to smush us.
Smush.
AKA they resist.
Physical
No,
damage.
more than
Mushy.
resist.
Mushy.
Immune.
They absorb or they're immune, yeah.
Immune.
Immune to non-magical attacks that aren't silvered.
Non-magical voice things.
Oh, right, because they're were
Like
rats.
anthrax.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, well
That's
then,
right. Where did someone hide my silver dagger?
No, your silver. It's not a dagger. It's a dwarf. Also, Jaded. I'm actually looking over the to class difference, and it's interesting. I'm on the fence.
Like I said, it's not something you have to figure out right this minute.
But I will want to figure it out by next level.
Pretty much. Okay, so you guys managed to kill your shambling mound, and you guys want to head back to... Who do you want to head back to?
The scout.
Rasher.
Whoever requested us.
Well, we can stop by Rasheru on our way back to.
Shroomville.
Oh no, what's his name? Lube him up.
the Lube Meister.
So we'll see Rasheru and then swing by Lube him up.
Here we come again.
It doesn't take you super long to get back. While shambling mounds are a little bit difficult to defeat usually, your party is on the larger side.
Yeah. The Grick is going to be a bit more of a handful, sadly.
So you pass on the information to Rashiru that the shambling mound has been taken care of.
Does he seem a little more trusting now?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, and remind us exactly. This is the one that wanted to leave or wanted the coup.
Leave.
Okay.
You haven't met one that actually wants whatever Philo wants. Rashiru's the one that found the way safely away that didn't involve either going deeper past the Garden of Welcome or leaving through the way that you guys came in. He found kind of a secret exit.
Which now we know also exists.
He didn't show it to us though. He just said he knew of a way. So we were.
You don't know the exact passageways, but you get a feeling that it was back the same direction you just went for the Shambling Mound, because he mentioned having to defeat the Shambling Mound in order to make it safe to go that way.
Yeah.
We should put it on our map so in case we have to GTFO. Or maybe he doesn't want to share it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So when we get to him, Prescott basically wants to make it known that, like, yeah, we did this, but to trust build, and now we gotta know exactly where it is that that the path is and where you're going. That sort of thing.
At this point, Rashiru would have spored anyone, because that's the only way for him to speak to you. And he basically gets across that it's not a quick journey, it's a very complicated one, but he will wait here where you guys know the entrance is and lead you through if you come back.
If.
That's about as good as we can get or expect. Because he doesn't know he has no way of knowing. We wouldn't just go in and tell whoever, hey.
Is my finger tasty?
Quinn, did you drop? Were you done speaking?
Oh, I started taking a drink and forgot what I was going to say.
That's usually what happens after you drink too much.
Oh, I haven't had anything. I'm just drinking Gatorade right now.
If that's what you want to call it, that's not a problem. We're not going to judge.
Maybe a little.
I heard Gator vodka.
That's right. I was going to say, he may trust us a little more, but he probably doesn't want to actually tell us everything, because who says we wouldn't go in and tell people, hey, there's a path out here. He's trying to escape or get people to leave.
Prescott makes a few notes and then looks up at him, formality-wise, and asks, what nugget of knowledge can you give us for what we're about to deal with? We dealt with your problem. Who knows what we're going to find in there? Give us a little bit of more knowledge.
There's a long pause. You don't sense that it's anything malicious. He's just trying to think through what he knows. And Rashiru eventually comes back and says, be wary of Philo and what it is that they are trying to do. We've heard of people going up to the Circle of Masters and never coming back.
What is the Circle of Masters?
And what
Well,
are they
explain
trying to
that
do?
The Circle of Masters are the ones in control of the Garden of Horror. We don't know what they're doing. It's forbidden for anyone but those of the Circle to go up there.
So we'll just have to do what's forbidden. Not maybe the first time.
I agree.
Is there anything else that you need of us, or are
It walks
you
forward.
and your party getting out of here?
It walks forward on 10 multi-legged penises.
I'm really trying to envision that, but I'm having trouble.
I don't want to
Just
know.
think of the balls as little feet.
This is what happens when I have lack of sleep. Sorry.
Rashiru says, we won't be leaving yet. Our hope is to get Sovereign Basidia out of here. We don't want to alert Philo to the escape route. It is our hope that you can help us get our Sovereign out.
Of course it is.
You realize
or at least direct them this way.
You do realize that you're asking complete outsiders who have already helped you to keep helping you, with no extra promise of, well, anything really.
We can get you out in a way that Philo knows not.
I mean, I can just kill Philo. I don't care about that. If he's really that horrible and that monstrous,
It is not Philo that we are concerned about, but where his sickness comes from.
Do you know where his sickness comes from?
Only that it feels strange to us. It is not natural.
That's gonna bring back the memory of the Vrox and the other demon type creature that they saw battling in the air. Demons unnaturally around in the Underdark.
I mean, this is the Underdark.
Yeah, but they're here unnaturally. They're not supposed to be here. And I know that we were here as slaves, but this is why we are here. I believe if we can eradicate this sickness, that we will be let out.
I mean, either way, I'm not leaving little buddy to get sick or to die. So I want to take care of it just for that alone.
I think we should go after the Grick.
On a side note, Christina, I think I found one point that the other class has an advantage over my current one. The Eberron turrets stay out for an hour rather than just 10 minutes.
Yeah. But you have to reach a certain level before they can explode.
Have I actually used the explosions yet?
No, but you still have to reach a certain level before they explode.
I know.
What would the rest of you like to do?
I'm up for more murdering.
Well, before we go to the Grick, should we go to Lubima?
That might be wise.
I might need a refresher on him, but yeah, that's probably a good idea.
The Circle of the Hunters is in the Circle of Hunters. That's about what I have written down.
And Philo's the one that they're not sure about with the whole horrors thing, Circle of Horrors.
So you guys go back down from the southern terraces back to the fungal wilds where you first entered and met Lubamub. And Lubamub is the circle leader of the hunters, who sent you on the journey to destroy the Shambling Mound and had mentioned wanting to have a Grick Alpha slain and then returned.
So he doesn't necessarily know we ran into Rasharu.
Not necessarily. Lubamub is also the one that offered to introduce you to the Sovereigns.
I'll say to the others, should we tell them about Rasharu?
Unless we hear some dissenting information, I don't think so. No. It would probably not be a good idea to let them know that we sowed dissent.
Agreed.
We should probably just keep going for the time being.
Tashay, you want to show them a piece of mound?
Yes. I will show him the cutting of the mound that we had seen.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's better.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, you basically just asked her to flash mushrooms.
Sorry, I should have stated that a little better.
We're showing
What
mounds
is-
now.
What is this, a cube?
Everybody drop trowel.
Stop. Trouser time.
Magic hammer time.
We're going to play a little game.
I thought I wasn't
Jethro.
supposed to bring it around young people.
Gonna have a wardrobe malfunctions. There's me hammer. So mature we are. So mature.
I'm putting that in my notes. One of the worst things I've ever said in the D&D.
What, added to
Hey.
the list of them so far?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to show them your mounds?
Oh my. Well, a friend of mine loves hot dragons.
Joy's got nuts. No.
Google Dragonborn mounds.
Hey. We
No,
have
no,
a
it's
cloaca.
Google Dragonborn Rule 34.
Dragonborn Rule 34. Oh dear lord.
Yes, that exists. Because of course.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Borderlands 2, not a dragon.
I know.
So you kind of in passing tell Lubamub of the shambling mound that's now dead.
I'm getting a lot of Skyrim porn.
I mean, that's what you Googled.
Fine then, Brad. I will show you how the grown-ups find this stuff.
No, I'm cool. You're good. Please don't.
And
There you go.
Oh my. Holy shit.
Do I want to know?
No.
it seems very happy to know that the shambling mound won't be a problem anymore. At least until the next one rises. And is
Will this
actually
rise from the shrooms?
perfectly willing to introduce you at this point if you want, but I know Touché made comment of going after the Grick Alpha as well.
Murder.
I might as well take care of both things, get all the experience, and then before talking to the people.
Potentially needing to get the hell
Of course,
out of here.
in my situation, unless there's a long rest involved, it's going to cost me a spell slot before the next fight. So, yeah. And unless you want to look in not safe for work, don't worry about it then.
Oh Lord. What have we done?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, probably not.
That's actually one of the, and I shared one of the tamer images I found.
Of course you did.
Hey, you don't want to see some of the strange shit that gets shared on my Discords.
Uh-huh.
So you guys were told that the Grick Alpha is somewhere in the north?
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry about that. Shit.
How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Everybody shits.
Some just more than others.
I don't think. Anyways,
You don't think that's not the problem and the solution.
Like the 3-year-old who did it on the slide today. Nice.
As
Hey.
I'm putting food in my mouth.
Say what?
You had poop in your mouth?
no, she's telling us the story as I'm putting food in my mouth.
Hey, it's lubing up the slide.
Oh fucking a!
No, I
mean,
managed to catch it before then.
Is that the first time that happened
Hopefully,
before?
yeah,
No.
with gloves.
So now I know how to get rid of Brad.
Did he like really leave? Come on. Kindergarten is rough, man.
I mean, Brad, let's be honest. He can't handle the kindergarten.
Uh-oh.
So about that slide,
And then
And that was one of the strangest colors I ever saw coming out.
oh, this is fun. We should continue doing this. But then again, we get nothing done, so we should probably.
I shall refrain.
For now.
And that's how they took care of the evil toilet. The end. Oh, hi, Brad. Welcome back.
Silver's was easy to see through, Aaron. Yours was fucking seamless.
Zarin.
So you guys go up towards the north, kind of in between the two lakes in the bottom. And you notice that there's this kind of purplish light over the northern side.
Beef. Excuse me.
And you all
Chicken.
see that
I am eating Mongolian beef.
I'm gonna turn you into poop.
there's water trickling from the walls of this vast cavern that's channeled into a crude but effective terraced irrigation system. A thick, sweet smell fills the air from the thousands of fungi of all colors and sizes, many glowing with a strange, inviting light.
Did you say a terrace irrigation system?
A terraced irrigation system.
Okay. I heard terrorists.
So we found the grower circle, most likely, right?
The terraces are all kind of above where you're at. You're seeing where the water's trickling down from them. You do see, as you start approaching, one of the Myconid adults breaks off from whatever it was they were doing and approaches you.
You want to try some good spores?
Is this water drinkable? Can we tell?
Well, any water can be drinkable, but if it's potable or not, that's a different question.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's what.
Make a survival check.
Says the party before they died.
Well, we are about to encounter an alpha Grick and whatnot, so I don't have huge opinions of our chances at the moment.
What's that song? Just keep critting, just keep critting.
we're gonna get tentacle raped so hard it's not even funny.
As far as you can tell, the water here is some of the cleanest you've ever seen in the Underdark.
I'll drink some really quick.
Prescott follows suit and dips stool in it as well.
It all seems to be safe.
To be fair, I don't even know what you rolled for her to tell you that it looks like the cleanest water. I just took her word for it. I'm dead.
I don't know. I don't think I have any effects from it.
It seems to be perfectly safe. It doesn't seem to affect you in any other way.
We'll find out in 20 minutes.
So you have a Myconid approaching. Based off the behavior of the previous ones, you have a feeling that they want to spore you.
Once again.
When this Myconid does spore you, you get the feeling that this creature's name is Gaspide. And you can feel a kind of it's kind of a mild excitement and kind of restlessness from this Myconid.
Great, it's horny.
Oh yeah, come closer.
Just bored.
I mean, you've already been done, so.
And it says, "Oh, newcomers, you must have the most wonderful idea of structures from the surface world."
Why, yes.
I show him
I
illustrations.
am not from the surface world.
I show him illustrations and pictures of my world, which is totally different than this one. Yeah. Well, I guess not showing pictures. In my head, I show him
Pictures of penises.
pictures of the floating buildings and the cities above the clouds and all that good stuff.
It seems utterly fascinated by these images.
Halfway through my sentence, I realize they're blind.
Well, you're able to share thoughts with him, so I mean, you can probably get the idea.
Hence why I changed my verbiage from I'm showing him pictures to in my mind I'm thinking of back home.
Can they just perceive it from us, or do we have to actually consciously share it with them?
I was under the impression that we had to consciously share it.
In your quite extensive experience at this point for humanoids in general, it seems that it has to be consciously chosen. So they can't just, like, pick images out of your mind. At least the ones you've met haven't been able to.
I'll look at the party and say, should I show them pictures from the Shadowfell?
Well, so I showed him pictures. So I guess this would be the first time that also the party's gotten to see my world then too, right? Because I showed you guys images of the world Prescott comes from.
Yeah, that's why I'm debating whether or not I should do it because I don't want to scare what are they? My condoids.
Myconids.
Gynocephaloids.
They can't hear us, right? Like if we speak out loud, they physically can't hear us.
They can. They're not deaf.
Well, they don't speak our language.
Well, yeah, I guess I've asked Stool many times to spore.
Yes, you have. You've talked to quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, then what languages do they know? You could ask this in a different. You could ask this in a different language.
The assumption has been that they can't speak without their spores, but they can understand.
What languages do you know again?
Druidic, Dwarvish, Elvish.
I've also got Elvish.
I have Elvish.
You could ask us in Elvish. I mean, but let's just assume that you've done that, and Prescott says in Elvish. No, I don't think that's a. I mean, what are we going for here? Are we going for to wow them so that we can get in easier, or do you want to fight your way in from now?
Well, I just want to share with him. He seems super excited. But I don't want the Shadowfell to
remind me that's what we just went through.
No, I was thinking just like you shared your Ashok's from the Shadowfell.
That's right. Okay, excuse me.
What's made that? Although it's probably not much gloomier than Underdark's probably worse than the Shadow.
I wasn't trying to show him worse. I was just trying to blow his mind.
Yeah, I just don't want to show anything that would be like, ugh, that's not, or scary. I don't know. I don't think they'd be scared of it.
I would just think to show them things that are grandiose.
Thorwar wouldn't have anything of that to show because I mean anything surface-wise because Thorwar is native to the Underdark. He has never been to the surface.
Yeah, Ashok won't share any images with the new guy.
Yeah, I think Tasha will referring to.
Oh, why the hell not? I'll share some images of the Dwarven home and room after room of kegs filled with fabulous booze.
I mean, cities
booze
built
of all kinds.
Cities built into the side of mountains and inside. Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool.
And Gaspide starts to kind of fixate on some of the very specific details and asks questions such as, do you know the precise dimensions of the bricks used in that and the density of the lumber?
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
Prescott actually says that out loud. What the fuck?
He's very interested in building stuff.
Yeah, we don't have that information.
Well, no. Prescott goes, Jesus Christ, this is where my notes come in handy. Can I don't have a witty answer, but can Prescott check his notes for fucking architectural notes. Like, what in the hell?
Make a intelligence check.
Just a straight int check.
Yep.
Even if it was I mean that's a decent roll, but even if part of it's slightly bullshit, or like I'm not an architect, so I took notes, but who knows whether they're actually fully accurate? Oh God, please don't build a city based off this.
So you don't have any specifics that would go in so much depth as to be able to tell him the density of the lumber used in the buildings that you've come across. But Prescott being Prescott, I would imagine that there's probably some pretty good, very accurate dimensional checking.
We'll see. We Loxodons are giant, so these doors are yay big and yay wide, and we use a lot of metal where I come from, but still, wood and stone are a part of our architecture, and we go really high, and we use a lot of electricity and a lot of magic in our buildings, and scientific knowledge. And he just rattles on and rattles on and rattles on.
Gaspide doesn't seem to realize the kind of BS-ery going on here, and just listens completely entranced by everything that Prescott says.
I was about to ask if you want me to roll deception.
And you get the kind of feeling that all of you will get this feeling that he is listening so intently because he has dreams of building a magnificent tower of his own that is the words that he seems to use are things like fungal tower even greater than Emorgus, and that it hopes to break through the Underdark to the surface world, possibly with the aid of Aramikos.
Prescott asks what those two things are.
And
Amigus or Armikos, whatever you said, yeah.
There's a brief pause and a bit of sadness, kind of, and it says that it's not entirely sure, but Sovereign Philo says that it's part of the great celebration to come.
What kind of celebration?
And real fast, because she's swallowing some dinner. Now knowing what the Shadowfell is in Elvish, Prescott tells Quinn, "I want to help this little guy. Show him some of your towers too. Not the depressing shit, just the towers."
All right, I'll show him the second one I put in Discord then.
Okay, sorry. She just was eating dinner, so I figured I'd tell Quinn that while we waited.
Actually, this last one's kind of cool. This is the third one I'll share.
Gaspide's not entirely certain, but says that Sovereign Philo has been preparing the Grove for a great day. They've been very vague about it and haven't told too many specifics, especially to the lower tiers, but they're very excited to see what is to come of their grove.
This does not sound good.
Nope.
Maybe we should think twice before we help them defeat the Crick.
The this Myconid seems also fascinated with what Ashok has shared, but not in the same sort of way. Like, it's wondrous images and towers, but they're kind of usually more, at least in appearance, they look like they're trying to fall apart. And what it wants to build is something that will last.
Yeah, it doesn't like that darkness of it, probably.
It appreciates the architecture for being architecture and being wondrous and very different than what it's seen in the Underdark, but it doesn't seem like those images would be helpful in its goals.
But we would have showed him two completely different environments that he would have seen.
I'll say to Prescott and Elvish, I think I'm starting to think I agree with Tashay. This, at least this particular one, might not be headed down the right road, but we're not sure yet.
Roasted, what languages do you speak?
I speak Abyssal, Common, and Draconic.
Great. I don't have any of that. Prescott will pull her aside and Ashok and ask what exactly, why do you think that? He just wants to build a tower.
But he's referencing the sovereign that, to this point, seems to be the one that they don't trust.
Did I miss something? He said he wanted to be something better than him.
Yeah, that sounds like it might be, could be demonic-esque.
Fair. We don't have all
That's
of
what I
the
was
knowledge. But if you want something that's better than the thing that they all hate, well, it could also be a beacon of hope.
Could I do some kind of religion check?
First, everyone make a perception check. And yes, you can.
Finally, I might know what's going on.
You Damn.
Oh well.
Perception check. Oh yeah, it's this button right here. Don't worry, you're not alone.
Good job, guys.
To be fair, it's about as weak as I feel at the moment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
So, you've noticed, speaking to the other two adults that you did, Lubamub and Rasharu, compared to them, this particular Myconid seems to have trouble staying still. They seem to be almost like supercharged with purpose, for lack of a better way
Or
to put
drug
it.
induced, maybe?
Yeah, are we able to deduce whether or not that this is... Well, we don't have much knowledge, but is this just eagerness or induced?
You have no clue. Of anyone, maybe Ashok would be able to tell. But as far as you're aware, there's nothing unusual about this fungal home that would be causing this effect.
Would a medicine check help to see if it was somehow? Although I don't know, if
Possibly.
medicine would. You want to see if they're under the influence. And it, so taking my perception roll, but then following it up with medicine.
Don't forget Tashay's and mine's religion checks as well.
You forget mine.
Yeah, but see, I've got a 19, and then you add your 6 to mine, and then we have 25. We're just doing great.
We tried to dissect it together. I guess I don't know if I'd be able to tell if a plant was under the influence of it. What would a plant get drugged by?
Yeah, but
Usually
we have been around stool a lot. We've seen him get adversely affected to things, and we also have a fucking guy who like wants to search this tomb. Like he's gonna go mad if he doesn't search it. So like we have instances of seeing this kind of behavior in the Underdark. We also saw the first two, and like she said, the perception of the difference of this one in front of us. So I would imagine that we could deduce something.
Have we asked him if what he thinks Philo's going to bring them for building these?
Oh, he wants to build it for? I thought he wanted to build something better than.
Well, I was under the impression, the way I interpreted it was that Philo was kind of leading them to build bigger and better things.
She typed a lot, pressed enter, and I saw it go nowhere. Now I'm very concerned.
You.
Surely nothing bad could happen.
There was no, like,
I'll say to the group, go ahead.
Gaspard wants to build this tower, there's nothing really necessarily that it's for the good of his people, or that it's very confusing, to put it lightly.
I'll say to the group, very, very hushed. I can't pinpoint the connection, but what we've seen in Sereth, I'm sensing this with Gaspard. I can't exactly say what it is, but it's what I'm sensing. So whatever Sereth has been going through.
So then why don't we give it hope for the time being and just play it by ear and keep continuing from there, and we'll circle back on this. If this is just somebody with great ambitions and dreams, I am not going to tear them down.
So I'll just say to Gaspard, where would you find the materials to build something like Prescott has shared with you?
It
If
is,
he says the blood of our enemies, we have problems.
it is
Because I'm
my hope.
assuming that those are built in stone, right?
I don't know, actually.
It is my hope to use what we have here to do what I want.
I look around and kind of shrug my shoulders. I guess there is rock here.
I guess we're surrounded by rocks.
I wonder how defeating the Grick helps them.
I'd ask Thor. Most of the dwellings here are built with rock, right? You're from down here.
Generally. Rock or fungus wood. Or spider's webs, depending on your liking. I mean, it's not exactly like we're lacking in stone.
This is true.
As Prescott's flipping through his book, though, he stops and he puts his finger right down along a list of names. The two names that he gave us, I can't fucking pronounce those. And right at the top, there's a giant header that's just the demonic. So Prescott's pretty simple sometimes in his notes. Literally says demonic with a list of names, and those two names are on it. And I physically show the book to the party.
I like Tashay's question. What would killing the Grick do to help them?
We could always pretend to help them finding the source.
At this point, Stool would pipe in and say that the Circle of Hunters, who Lubamub is the leader of, generally bring back remains of creatures that have died near the grove to be reanimated by the sovereigns to pretty much do whatever they need them to. You would have noticed several different species of what they call spore servants throughout your travels in the Neverlight Grove.
And those are
I think they just relieve spores, right?
They're... Of course, I don't have images of anything.
they are things. They do stuff.
They're pretty much the only way that Myconid get help other than from themselves. Generally, they're reanimated things that have died that are brought back to, like, keep watch over an area, or maybe they need help watering the fungus.
So they're slaves.
They're more like zombies.
So zombie slaves.
Sort of. I mean, they're undead in a way.
So out of character, I'd say I'm trying to connect. Rasuru said that it's wary of sovereign Philo, and that they think that Philo is letting the people go to waste and something's corrupting the group. But then we meet a guy who seems to believe in Philo and wants to build wondrous things. I'm trying to wrap my head around this
Well,
connection.
also keep in mind what the Philo is doing to the by breaking things up, and also along the lines of that especially that grove where people go but never come back.
Oh, the circle.
This is from what was described in the past. They pretty much lived effectively as one communal mind. Philo is doing is splitting that up,
That's right. Okay.
and no one knows why.
To follow Prescott's thought process, maybe independence and free will is something that Philo might be offering.
Oh, I did say that basically had a hive mind. It's basically they all could communicate as one if they felt like it.
Oh yeah, okay. So maybe now there's like
Basically, divisions that some groups cannot basically split up in such a way, groups cannot communicate with each other anymore, and so as basically split, the community has been split by this.
right. So kind of separation of, to use a really loose connection, rich and poor, right? Like you
Or
have these people
however Philo has deemed these circles to be.
Did they tell us specifically why they wanted a diamond?
You are breaking up real bad.
Sorry about that. Is that any better?
Okay,
Yeah,
try it again. Or
Is
maybe
that-
no. As a repeat what you just said.
I was just wondering if it's
You might have to reset Discord.
hello?
Yes. Okay, now try it again.
Did I miss? Did they specifically, these people that we're talking to now, ask us to destroy Grick, and did they tell us why?
That was Lubamub that
Right.
had
The hunter.
asked for the Grick corpse.
And Lubamub was the one who warned us about these guys.
Actually, if memory serves, hunting the Grick was along the lines of, "Here, you bring out the corpse. We have food," as opposed to the Shambling Mound, which was, "Can you get rid of this thing? It eats us."
So, okay, this is where I'm confused. What are these? We've just met up with these guys. Are they asking us to do something? Or are we just like chatting?
You were headed to the north in the search of the Grick Alpha. In your travels north, you came across Gaspide, who is the leader of the Circle of Builders. They haven't asked you to do anything. They just kind of approached and were super excited to find surface dwellers and started asking about buildings
Yeah.
and
All this one wanted to know as to how to build a tower, and now we're
I'm
trying to
so
wonder if
sorry.
he's rule of the world.
Okay, so I'm over here thinking, and I'm way off base. This makes a lot more sense. So did we tell him what we were doing?
No, but where? So we were just like, yeah, these are buildings, and then where it was dissented was our perception is showing us that he's under the. Well, he's shaking. He's vibrating.
Why are you trying to build this thing? Why are you trying to build this tower? What's it for?
Which I also asked, and then that's where I said the two names that he mentioned are demonic.
Oh, sorry. Can I see if I recognize those names? I knew I was missing.
that was the religion check that you already made.
Oh, I see.
But I
didn't know
shared,
shit.
but I shared this with everybody. There's like the two names he pointed. I flipped to a page in my book. At the top said demonic, and then with a list of names, and those two names are on it.
Okay.
Gaspide can give no, like, it, he can give no use of the tower that he wants to build. He just really wants to build this amazing tower.
So you said that there were two demonic names, and you shared that with us? Did you share us what the names were, or just that there were two demonic names?
He specified because I asked him why he wanted to build a tower or what it was for. You said something along the lines of he wanted to build it to be greater than something, or you specified something, and then that's where we all got thrown off.
He dreams of building a tower, a fungal tower even greater than Igmorgus, and it hopes to break through the Underdark to the surface world, possibly with the aid of Aramikos.
Okay, now we're getting
Okay, so I say
Dear
quietly,
Lord, and no,
This,
and I'm usually the one that's fucked up.
this, and then I kind of whisper, this sounds like madness. If just to build up to the surface, that
It
seems
sounds-
like an
They want a vein to the
insurmountable.
surface. They want a vein to the surface to infect everybody.
Ah. I would, out of character, or actually in character, yeah. Well, maybe we should just go get this Grick. I mean, he's not asking us to help build these. He's just telling us what he wants to do. Maybe we should just move along. Wish him well.
At this point,
Well-
you might have noticed that while Gaspide's been kind of standing to the side, he seems to be humming to himself.
Do we recognize the song?
It doesn't seem to be quite a song, he's just humming.
I'll say again to the group, I'm still sensing the effects that we've seen Sereth having, for better or for worse. It seems to be similar. I don't know what's happening to Sereth, but he's doing some crazy things when he fights.
Crazy things in our favor.
Well, true, but crazy nonetheless until he turns them on us. Like the last time, when you noticed he shot that arrow, it put some darkness into that shambling mound. That was discerning. I think I'm starting to lean in favor of Basidia.
We need more information.
Let's go kill this Grit.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to go do that.
At this point, you see Gaspide kind of perk up a little bit and look over at you guys and say, "Oh, you're after the Grick?"
I thought it couldn't. I thought it couldn't hear us. Shit.
Yes.
Maybe.
We look at each other like dumbfounded.
Last I heard, it was off to the north somewhere.
Why are you interested?
Probably off to the northeast, back along the cavern wall.
Why don't you come help us fight it?
Oh no, I've got to prepare for the tower.
Should pat him on the shoulder and say, "You do that."
Is this tower something you want to build, or have you been commissioned? Because it sounds like he's on, that he's got to go build it. Like he's on some kind of
He's on
timetable.
the drugs.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's my own personal project.
Well, if you ever think about telling us more, perhaps we could be more of assistance to you.
Yeah, I have copious notes if you need them.
I whisper really lightly. I think we've just ran into a random crazy Mycon.
Yeah, but for him to name drop those names, it's not random.
Would I know those names? I don't know if I know those names or not.
You can make a religion check if you'd like.
Do better than the one I did. Thank you.
Yeah, you can't quite place where they're from. They're definitely demonic, but the exact source just kind of eludes you.
I want to ask him one more question. I want to ask him, why does he want to build a fungal tower to the surface?
It would be wondrous, wouldn't it?
No.
Well, how dare you?
Yeah, he's being controlled by something. Why would you want to build a fungal tower to the surface? It would be wonderful.
Just think of how pretty it would be.
Just the tower, or expanding it out to the surrounding lands?
The tower itself, of course.
Alright, I guess I'm on the wrong track.
Yes. Onward to the Greek.
Barf.
That's what we say to him and move on.
My apologies. I'm just kind of phasing a little.
My God, man.
Gaspide doesn't seem to really mind that you're just kind of bypassing him and continuing on. He just kind of picks up a stick and starts drawing images in the ground.
Oh, he's nuts. Let's get out of here.
Wait, can I look at the images?
Same. I want to see if that's the images I showed him.
It's absolutely the images that you guys shared with him.
Oh, this guy is—he's eating mushrooms.
I actually have some sort of affinity to him. I come back up and okay, no, but another line to the left. Okay, you missed this cross bridge.
I do shape water, and I just rush it over the whole drawing.
It doesn't seem to bother him too much. He actually just kind of turns around and does it in a drier area.
Okay, but don't forget this wall again. Okay, and right there up. Don't do that, asshole.
I roll my eyes at the rest of the party.
The trek onwards actually isn't too difficult. It's well built and kind of designed to be traversed. There's not really any signs that anyone's been coming up and down, though. Possibly to do with what Lubamub had mentioned about the circles being split. Eventually, you guys make it all the way up to the top terrace. And you actually see yet another group of myconids with a single adult.
Should we go see how crazy these guys are?
As long as you're not going to be an asshole to them too.
No, that was uncalled for. Just shows my social ineptitude.
And this adult looks up and sees your group and kind of waves on the smaller myconids around them and comes forward to speak with anyone who will speak with them.
Spore us, baby.
What the fuck?
And it, imagine that, it does spore you.
Who knew?
And it introduces itself as Hiboppi.
Who?
Hip, bop, beep.
Hip puppy.
Hippity hoppity hoopity.
Hiboppi.
Hip, hop, you don't stop.
Gonna make this party rock.
Heap.
With a hip, hop, hip, hop, and you don't stop them.
Brad's losing it.
Hip hoppity and the Sundance
We'll
Kid.
greet them.
And it
Yep,
says
he's
that
losing
it's
Exactly.
the leader of the growers.
Hip, hop, hip.
He says he's the leader of the growers.
Of the growers, yes.
You want to build towers?
He's a grower, not a shower.
You must have met Gaspide.
How could you tell?
He did.
Yes, and we heard all about his towers.
His fungal tower to the surface and how wonderful it would be.
And I want to help him build this damn tower.
What do you think of those towers, Hip hoppity?
What?
Is she losing it?
Yes, she is. Hip hoppity.
What use do we have for towers?
The
Is
Tower
he-
of Power.
Is he alone?
No, he's
Oh,
with his kids.
hey, leave his love life out of this.
I mean, he waved on the young ones, right? But there's no other adult myconids around, right?
Oh
No.
my.
There's no other adults near here.
On the flip side is if The fight doesn't start soon. We may just have to start the fight the next session.
We will.
I don't know if it
So
goes
how
as
long
quick
is-
as the other one did.
I don't see it going as quick as the other one did, but it could be wrong. Then again, we could be dead.
How long has he been wanting to build towers?
For a little while at least. It seems
Well-
to have grown worse since Sovereign Philo broke the circles up. We no longer do our mass meldings.
So
Interesting.
isolated, they run amok.
Would you call wanting to build a monument for your everlasting legacy running amok?
It is strange for Myconids.
It's strange to want to have ambitions and dreams.
Is it strange to want to expand to the surface?
It is strange to want to build things that Myconids have no use for. We thrive in our fungal forest. What use do we have for towers?
Everyone has a use for a tower. Just stating it simply as like a matter of fact.
So Tasha's gonna mention that she feels that she has been led here because there is some kind of sickness affecting the Underdark and here in Neverlight Grove.
Ooh,
She
nice.
wants to see his reaction to that.
And it kind of pauses and seems to consider that, and says, well, some of us are acting strange, but I don't think it's really as big of a deal as these others keep saying it is.
What others?
Those such that trust Basidia.
Basidia. Isn't he the king or something?
He's
Well, that's the one that
the Sovereign Basidia is the one opposite Sovereign Philo.
Okay, I get it.
I just don't see that the problem is as big as Basidia is trying to make it seem.
Why not?
I mean, so a couple of us have some strange ideas. Is that really such a bad thing?
No, just curious your point of view.
So do you like the idea of separation of circles? Or do you crave the mind meld?
I miss the mass meldings, but Sovereign Philo has a plan. I don't know what plan they have. It doesn't seem to have hurt us yet.
Yet being the operative term.
Does a lack of mind meld make you go insane and want to do, like, say, build towers?
Build towers.
I don't want to build towers.
No, but what do you want to do?
I continue growing our farmers. Wait.
Growing the farmer?
I mean, they are mushroom people, so kind of that too, but that's not quite what I meant to say.
I
You know,
figured.
he came out, he like detached himself from a patch of mushrooms, right? Just like the other guy did.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he said he misses the mass meldings. Now I'm just curious, do juvenile myconids also participate in the mass melding? And why hasn't
Well,
school asked to do that? I mean, he wanted to go home, right? So is just hanging out home, or is melding with the rest of the hive something he needs?
Stool pipes in and says, just being with you. Just being with you when you're melding with the adults has helped. But I wish to greet our sovereigns.
Through the melting?
Is that not what has been done?
Was he talking about through spores?
Yes, melding
okay.
is being spored.
Think of it like the ultimate democracy.
Yeah, right. Okay, did we tell this guy we were going for the Rick?
I'll ask her. Have you seen the Grick? You have a problem with the Grick in this area, we hear.
No, but I was told you can follow the yellow dick toad.
There have been a couple more Gricks in the area. They don't bother us too much. Though we have noticed a Grick Alpha in the area. It's lately seemed to have kind of stuck to this northern wall.
Well, we're here to do something about that.
I guess.
It would be appreciated. It doesn't like us coming near, and the plants there would thrive better with our help.
All right, let's go get it.
Wait, really fast. You don't want to grow a farm to like the surface, do you? Or some like weird, the best farm ever for it with the power of demonic name A and demonic name B.
I mean, what we grow here is more than enough for us. If our population were to grow, possibly, but we don't need more.
Not what I asked, but okay. Which side of the rulers do you come down on, and which side of the ruler? Which side does the tower builder come down on? Do you know?
Beef.
Swear to God, you and your beef.
I have no beef with you.
You have too much beef.
Well, I know that Gaspide definitely supports Sovereign Philo. Personally, I could go either way. Though Philo does seem to support madness.
Okay, this guy's goes both ways. Let's go.
Well, point being is, I was curious if, if he wanted to build, like a farm with the power of demonic fucker.
Yeah.
And he followed also the same person, since he's not that insane and realistically doesn't care. Yeah, I wonder if it's the people who follow the one that Tower Builder follows, if they're, Philo, if they're a little insane.
Crazy shit.
They are batshit crackers.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask? You kind of... I guess say your goodbyes. And you watch as Hip-Hop-B returns to the mushrooms that they'd been kind of part of before approaching you. And you hear quiet murmurs of, like, something along the lines of, "It's okay, I'm back. Continue your work, it's okay." As you continue further on. Do we want to cut it there, or attempt this Grick battle?
A Grick battle will take me until 1 in the morning.
Might be a bit much.
Yeah. Then we'll just start up next time with, finding Grick. And did we take a rest before we got out here or no? I don't think
Not-
we did. We?
Not yet.
Okay.
But to be fair, nobody got hurt.
And I didn't use any spell slots personally.
Yeah, I just used one and I used my Radiance of the Dawn, but that's okay.
This was a good session. I think we learned a lot.
Yeah, I hate it when I feel like there's something else though that I'm missing.
Yeah, there's some connection I'm not making.
Obviously, there's some kind of split going on of some sort.
You've met quite a few of the leaders of the circles, separate from the sovereigns, who you haven't met yet. You met 2 that were very strongly for Basidia, 1 that's very much for Philo, and 1 that could go either way. And kind of seen the effects of whatever Philo is supporting.
Demonic bullshit.
But that's okay. We will continue from there next time. And I can guarantee it wasn't enough experience to level up.
Oh, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, we got a little while yet.
That would be like close to 4,000 experience each from a shambling mound.
It was a very hard mound.
I mean, he may finally find a stool big enough for himself.